Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Uttering Mind. I am Mark Utter, a self-proclaimed inspirational speaker who types to communicate. I'm here with Thomas Caswell.
Hey everybody.
Oh. My. Good. Friend. I. Hope. You. Didn't. Melt. Writing. Oh my good friend, I hope you didn't melt riding your bike over today.
Well, I'll tell you something. I didn't, and the day that we're taping this, it is 91 degrees outside, so it is very, very hot today. Let me tell you that.
I would love to have you say a bit about who you are, Thomas, and how the plans unfolded to bring you here.
Well, thanks for having me here, Mark. First of all, my name is Thomas. I'm 21. I'm a young adult who also has autism spectrum disorder, like Mark does. This past school year, I was president of Bridging Advocates Together, one of the newest advocacy groups in the state. By the way, let's bring that photo up to the from last winter. Yeah, basically that was from last winter, and what I used a gavel to try to get everybody's attention during the meetings, because we're a lot of group that loves to talk. That would tell you that.
And did you want to talk a little bit about how you and Mark started to think maybe you'd be a good collaborators working together?
Well, what happened is that when I first met Mark at Champling Voices, like a year ago, before Bridging Advocates Together starting the bridging program by CCS in general. I saw him like obviously was like one of those other people that that I just didn't know. Then once he became the bridging program's mentor, and came into the first time, I was so fascinated by his by his way of communication that it just made my day. It's just like wow. It's like wow. It's like he may not be able to talk so well verbally, but I know his mind, he really got a lot to say, and inspired me. So as soon as that was over, I was so fascinated by everything that he had that I just feel like I had to join. It's like I want to work more with this guy, because he is amazing.
And then you had this great trip where you went to the Supported Decision Making Conference down in Killington.
Yes, Mark and I together on the 9th of June went down to the Supported Decision Making event on June 9th, a couple months ago, which basically the conference about alternatives to guardianship, which is good for me, especially because I do not have a guardian. I'm my own guardian. I have been since I turned 18 3 years ago.
Awesome. So then I remember in the workshop, you two were paired up together, and Mark decided he would assist you with determining some goals and wanted you to think big. And then in the course of that discussion, he suggested that the two of you might work together on a project, because I loved how he described that you both have autism, but it's sort of working its way out, and it reveals itself in different ways, and you both have strengths and you both have weak areas, but you very much complement each other in these things that you have or don't have.
Well, that's the reason that it's called a spectrum, because while a lot of people with the spectrum disorder have many different abilities and challenges, no people on the spectrum are the same, not even twins.
Mark, do you want to share a little bit more about? Or did you want to respond to what Thomas just said?
Hot. 2. I ought to add that we are about the most dashing presenters I know.
We sure are. Good one, Mark.
That's awesome. Okay, you want to talk a little bit more about what the show is about today? Give it a touch.
I'm pleased to let you know that I was invited to do a presentation at Syracuse University's Institute for Communication and Inclusion's annual Summer Institute. The 3-day conference was down in Columbia, Maryland at the end of July. The Institute for Communication and Inclusion, otherwise known as the ICI, is where a lot of research and training happens around the big topic of supported typing, which is the form of communication I and many of the people at that conference use. Thomas did a great job being my spokesman for the dress rehearsal of my presentation, which we did on July 13th at Champlain Community Services. He couldn't go with us to Maryland, so we decided he'd interview me today about how the trip went.
Speaking of the conference, how did it go, Mark?
The trip to Maryland in the sporty little car we had was awesome. I love hotel beds with big soft pillows, and I love to hang out and chat in restaurants at night, and I love to hear smart people talk, and I love to hear of other people reaching up through the keyboard to a brighter life.
Speaking of reaching up through the keyboard to a better life, wasn't that the title of your presentation?
Yes, reaching up through the keyboard to a brighter life is the title of the presentation I gave, and I was really even more moved by the title after being at the conference for a day. I saw people getting to be alive, and I am happy to report I am right there with them. The other great thing that I experienced is finding that so many of the things I took to be unique experiences in my life are things many of my peers experience too. I love knowing that. Thomas, please ask your questions.
Well, with that said, what topics at the conference did it basically focus on? So because I know it has to do with something with facilitated communication.
Oh. Great. Question, and in response I will say that of course supported typing was huge, as so many people there rely on it. So was love and technology and family and inclusion and yoga and a drum circle beautifully led by a guy from Rusted Root.
With that said, now I must say, obviously I don't think this concert is anything like Voices and Choices, but definitely something similar to the Assisted Decision-Making event that we went to on the June 9th, and I'm also thinking, how was it possible to have to do this all in 3 days' time? It's like, so that's something I just can't imagine. And so please try to open up my mind about that.
Oh. It is busy. And to pick and choose what you will focus on so you get what you need.
So basically, it is similar to Voices and Choices where you get options of what workshops you want to do. All right, that's all the questions I have, so we move on.
To the pictures?
Please.
So picture number 1, the group.
Yes. It is our
What letter do you need? Keep going.
Vermont. Contingent. It is our Vermont contingent, so you folks out in TV land might recognize some of these folks.
And the next picture.
Oh. That is the oh, that is the happy nervous presenter starting out on the wrong foot.
What basically happened when you started out on the wrong foot?
I am wanting to get on my right. I am wanting to type with less support, but it was not the right time to do it at my show, so I had to get on my right foot.
At least you give it your best shot.
It's true. That was very bold of you, Mark.
Very bold. Well done.
The next picture, picture number 3. Oh, hooray for hairlessness. you want to talk about that moment, how that came to be?
I was
Oops.
joined
Okay. There was a fly. Well,
D. I was joined on stage by my friends and fellow typers Larry and Tracy.
One of them who I actually know in real life.
is that Larry?
That's Larry.
How do you know Larry?
Well, I haven't exactly spoken to him, but I have seen around places like events like Voices and Choices and the gala that was last winter. And
Oh, right. Right. So we need to get you a copy of Wretches and Jabberers. because-
exactly.
Yeah, Larry and
I have yet to see that
Yeah.
movie.
so you're due. And the last photo. You want to talk about who this is?
I made a great. I made a great, good, wonderful work connection named Angie Silas.
I think it's Silas.
That's what I was thinking.
Silas.now. She. And I are talking about. I made a great, good, wonderful work connection named Angie Silas. Now she and I are talking about some future projects and hope you will be part of some of them.
By the way, I actually did see that Facebook post. She posted you and her together, and it's very inspired by it. Like,
That she posted of Mark.
yeah, on Facebook.
Was this the video or no?
No, Emily.
That's a whole-
that
yes, that's
was
a whole
Emily
other
Utter who
one.
posted that.
Okay, good.
Posted that went viral.
Yes.
Viral. Angie and Mark, it was just pictures of her. I don't think.
Right.
I don't think that went viral.
That one didn't go viral yet. Do you want to talk about the business that you were presenting?
I have a need to ask
Rachel.
I have an A in my name, just so you know that.
Thomas. I have a need to ask Thomas 3 questions.
Right. You ready, Thomas?
Yeah. So, what's the first question?
What
This is
He
gonna
always
be.
laughs at what?
are you doing? For your last year in high what are you doing for your last year in high school?
Well, I'll tell you all about that. I'm actually not going to be continuing school at Mount Mansfield High this year. That's because I am moving into a program and very soon on the 31st called Project Search. For those of you that do not know what that is, it is a program for people like me. We get to meet the other students with the program coordinator. We're all together at Edge. We get work and job experience and take classes, so it's the whole shebang. The whole thing takes and it happens from August 31st when school starts until the end. And so it's like one school year. As soon as you do the program, you're done school forever. That's the rule they have in place. For me, it doesn't matter because this is my last year anyway. Because as soon as I hit 22 next April, my school services terminate, but I will still be allowed to continue the program. As a result of this, I will not be able to continue in the bridging program. So Emily and Mark will obviously be in the bridging program together. Mark still is the mentor without me, but I can't wait to hear what happens this year and who takes over as president of the advocacy group.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. We got question number 2.
So what's your second question, Mark?
You have a great. You have a great spunky character. How will you keep that going?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, it has to be just live it every day like your last. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and live my life to the fullest and experience everything because I got a bucket list just like a lot of people. I'm not afraid to use it.
Wow, that's awesome, Stephen.
What? Are
You get all up excited.
three. What are 3 things on that list?
Oh, that's a good question. I said, well, so what is this thing? It's inside list because you say I do have a girlfriend. Hope to have a wonderful life with a spouse and possibly have kids. I don't. Of course, I don't know about you. I don't have the patience for right now, so I'm trying to think. This is something I'm just trying to think of. Another thing is definitely to just travel to places I never been, this is England or the UK. It was definitely one of those my favorite places I want to visit someday. And the third, well, that's a hard one.
You. Might. Want. To. At. Doing.
Just
You might want to add doing easy work for autistic men, as that is the name of this show.
well, that's something I want to think about. However, just so you know, it's not just boys and men that are on the spectrum.
Autistic.
Even girls and women are on the spectrum as well. I know some.
Well, now you can cross it off your list.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And yes, there are many. It's not just men.
I. Am. Delighted. You. Are. Here. I am delighted you are here today and would like you to read my marketing card and then read last line in my talk, and then we will shake hands and say goodbye and wave.
It's a with pleasure. So this is Mark's starting card about other communication strategies using humor and insight to connect ourselves and others. What this basically says. So what this says, it's like, do you ever feel like you don't fit in? Mark Utter spent the first 30 years of his life without access to communication. Now, through other communication strategies, he shares the powerful insights developed during that time to help people and organizations more effectively connect their ideas, talents, and unique ways of being with others. Mark helps clients identify, tap into, and communicate their own strengths. When these strengths find true expression, relationships between peers, friends, family members, colleagues, and others grow in pleasing, productive ways. I'm really in tune with myself. Oh, quote, I'm really in tune with myself because I was alone in my head for most of my life. He says. He found some true expression through writing, directing, and starring in a film called I Am In Here, which also effectively outed him as an intelligent man. And you can go to otterenergy.org and head over his blog, and also you can also email Mark at otterenergy.org.
Mark's new marketing card made. He has been working at CCS with the Way to Work program, with their supported self-employment program, and Mark has created a business. So here is the final line from Mark's presentation, reaching up through the keyboard to a brighter life.
So it says, we are all so amazing, and let's work to take our collective spirit to every space it is needed. so good to be here, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Wave at the camera.
It's so good to see you guys.